We're going to talk Perth first of all with Marc Ohlmus coming through, racing today it does feature some really good races. Ascot, the Winterbottom Stakes, the feature. Marc, thanks for joining us here on the Punters Lounge Live. Great to have you over here in New Zealand through Cup Week as well. It's a shame I never got to catch up with you, but it sounds like you had a great time, and they're telling me you're a Perth boy, so you're going to know this form back to front, eh?
Yeah, thanks, Aidan, and it's great to be with you. Yeah, my time in New Zealand, especially Cup Week, it's like no other. Honestly, it's a great week, and it's all three times, so it's really like a punters and a racegoer's delight. But yeah, originally from Perth, and yeah, we've got the form down pat. I think the Winterbottom is a race in two. It's not an overly strong Winterbottom as we have had in recent years, but there look to be two main chances. One of those, a bit of an upcoming star in Enticing Star. She's really firmed in betting. But Vedora, last year's winner, also the winner of the Moya Stakes earlier in the season, they look to be the dangers, both very, very smart mares.
Okay, yeah, let's have a look first of all at Vedora and have a look at the last start performance. Here's a horse who's in the market at 260-135 with Joe Bowditch to ride from barrier 5. What are the likely tactics with this horse, Marc?
Oh, they'll drop right out, Aidan. This will be a horse that'll drop right out. This is a race with a heck of a lot of speed. I think there is absolute speed to burn here. The likes of Belter off the inside. You've got Valor Road, which is a Karrakatta Plate winner from earlier in the year. That's the feature 2-year-old race in Perth. But Vedora, who you're seeing winning at the moment, she streaked home from last. She beat a very good horse in Nature Strip, who might have set it up for her by going very, very quickly. Form out of that race with Sprite running third. Sprite went on to run very, very well in the Manicato as well. So, look, Vedora, she just flies fresh as well, and she gets her opportunity here off a break. Her last run was actually in the Tab Everest, where she just didn't handle the bog track. Not too many did, to be fair. I think she's going to be very hard to beat, and the only way she will get beaten if it's by one that's up and coming, and the only up and coming one I can see there, as I mentioned earlier, was Enticing Star. But look, the main lead-ups over there in Perth are the Prince of Wales Stakes over 1,000 metres, and then the Colonel Reeves over 1,100 metres. That's more local form. I think it's inferior form this time around. But look, still have to respect the likes of Dainty Tess, the winner of the Prince of Wales Stakes, going back a couple of starts ago. She's got a motoring finish. She can break 32.5 on her day. But that's usually over 1,000 or 1,100 metres. That's my only concern with Dainty Tess here in the Winterbottom today.
I'm going to go have a look at Dainty Tess. In this race, we saw Prophet Street and Durantale as well. But how good was this winner in context of what she meets today, mate?
Yeah, look, it was very good, and that's her racing pattern, but I think best over 1,000 and 1,100 metres. She just gets back, but she is desperate for pressure up front. Look, she'll get that today, and she really gets a chance over 1,200 metres. Her only 1,200 metre wins to date have been earlier on in her career as a 2-year-old, and then in a fairly moderate fillies and mares race earlier this year. With all due respect to the fillies and mares she beat on that day, they wouldn't get within cooee of some of these horses going around today. So it's my only worry with her. Prophet Street, you saw running third there, a fair run, and the trainers, Peter Giadresco, well, the senior trainer of the partnership, he's pretty buoyant about Prophet Street's hopes, and 1,200 metres third up, he's not the worst roughie I've ever seen. I'll look around him just for this race. I think there's a bit more quality. And Durendal was a former Victorian horse. Chris Gangemi trains Chris, his brother Michael. Their business, I guess, is buying, horses that don't make the cut over in the east. Some expensive priced yearlings. This horse Durendal, formerly with, I think, Peter Moody for a little while in the contract racing colours, but he's only won his first race in Perth last start in the Reeves, and that was a super run, which I think we'll have a look at the replay of. That was his first win in a very long time, over a couple of years. He's back to form, but I tell you what, it was a very, very softly run race. Even Belcher in this race, look, he'll probably be part of the speed, but I don't think he's got the class to win. I'm not sure about that race as a form race either leading into this. I think the Eastern States form is much, much more solid than the two Perth lead-ups we've just seen.
I guess that's where we've got to be a little bit forgiving on Dainty Tess as well, just getting back on in a slowly run race. But how do we play it? Because on paper it looks as like Vidora's Moor Stakes run. None of these horses would be running in Everest, would they? Isn't that not the best form in the race?
Yeah, absolutely. You're spot on, Aidan. None of these other horses would get a start in the Everest. We know that, well, the prestige that's building around it, you've got to be a good horse to get a slot in the Everest and even be considered. So I think that Vidora form, her win the Moya, I was there that night, and it was just explosive. Joe knew he was going to win from a long way away. I see her being really, really hard to toss, especially with the little freshen up between runs. That's what she needs. All reports is that she's settled back into Perth like she never left from last year. From barrier 5, she'll let the speed go and she'll be bolting home. Aidan, for the New Zealand viewers, Ascot can be known as a leader's track. I think that's a bit of a myth. Over there, it's very wind dependent. Come around about 3:30. You get the Fremantle doctor over there. You may have heard it when watching the cricket at the Wacker for all these years, but it really does change the way races are run. There'll be a stack of speed and they will be screaming home. In terms of how we play this race, look, they put up Vidora at $3 over here earlier on in the week, and they had Enticing Star at $7. And the way I was looking to play it from a 100-unit strategy was 70 the win on Vidora and 30 the win on Enticing Star. So if one of them lobs, we can take home, around about $210 if you're having $100 on. So that's the way I'd be playing. But Enticing Star's firmed recently, which, should give back as a heck of a lot of confidence. She was 6th last start in the Listeria. It's a 1,400-metre weight for age race. That's the key lead up to the Railway, which was last week. She was in season leading up to that race, and she was in a pig of a mood in the mounting yard. She's since trialled with blinkers on, was very sharp. William Pike from barrier 13. He rode 4 of the last 5 races there at Ascot last week. He's a dead-set freak. He's the one that all the money goes on later on in the day. They'll drop back to last. Again, the speed will be on. I'm really interested to see how she will acquit herself to Group 1 company. I think she's very likely to be right with Vidora in the finish.
Excellent. Really appreciate your assessment for us here on the Punters Lounge Live. Marc Ohlmus joining us from Sydney, giving us all the form for Perth today. And yeah, a good way of playing that feature race, the Winterbottom Stakes, and also his liking Agent Pippa there in the first as well.